Okay, we're going to go through effective search terms, lesson 2. So this is a reteaching in a different way from what we did before. I'm actually using some of the questions from the practice sheet. So feel free to go back and fix your practice sheet and turn it again for more points. Here are some freebies. Effective means the best, and efficient, the best result with the least amount of work. So much like when your Pokemon is fighting a wild Pokemon, you want one that has the best moves so he can do the most damage with the fewest hits. Keywords are ideas and topics that define what your topic is about. They're usually nouns and verbs like who, what, and where. They're the words and phrases that you enter into search engines like Google or Safari. Using keywords only in a search gives you more effective results because it is more efficient. Try to use only 3 to 5 words in your search. So here is a picture of the fastest animal in Canada, and I am not going to type in what is the fastest animal in Canada because it's going to find web pages that use all of those terms, and I really only want to know the fastest animal Canada. If I type in fastest animal Canada, there it is. Turns out it is the pronghorn. All right, let's try again. To find the picture of the tree frogs, for my question, what species of tree frog can be found in Minnesota? Again, I do not want to type in that whole question. I just want to know tree frogs, which species of them, and can they be found in Minnesota? Search engines do not care if you put in the whole word Minnesota or if you use MN. Google is smart enough to figure it out. Okay, now notice my hint says 4 words. Tree frog can be considered 1 because it can be a compound, or 2 because there's 2 physical words. If I want to know for this picture, where were the first railroads built in Minnesota? I'm only going to shoot for 3 words. I want the very first railroad. I don't need the S. However, it's not going to be a big deal if you type it in. And Minnesota. Google is smart enough to figure out that I want to know when it was built. And if I type that in, here we go. We find out that the first one was right here in St. Paul. This particular engine does still exist and can be found in Duluth, Minnesota, in the Train Museum. If I would like to find out how do computer viruses spread from one computer to another, I'm going to want computer, virus. You can have viruses. However, one virus goes just as much as a whole bunch of them. And then I want to know how they spread. And here's where I find the answer. Now, sometimes it's easier to change a word or a group of words to find a better answer. For instance, again, this one's right off of that sheet. What are the health risks of eating too many lemon bars before bed? I had health risks. I could type those in, but I could make it shorter by just saying the dangers. Lemon bars. Technically a compound as well, but it's 2 physical words, so we'll group those together. And bed. Eating's okay, but not needed. Google will figure out if we have bed in there that that's what we're talking about. Okay, so here's that question we had again from both the worksheet and earlier in this presentation. Tree frog again. Species, we could use types instead of species, so using an easier word. And then Minnesota, once again, either the full word or just MN. To review, keywords are the most efficient and effective and efficient words in the questions that you want the internet to answer. Usually, they're nouns and verbs: who, what, and where. Please continue now to take the formative assessment in this folder.